Whoa! What the f? Whew. That was either a tiny dog or a cat. I think it was a tiny dog because they're more stupid than cats. Riding around town is exactly what this bike should be its best at, because it's in the name, CB, city bike. What are you looking for in a comfortable bike for riding around town? Well, first of all, it must be kind of small, which this one is. It's not a long bike, it's a short bike, which means that it's going to be more agile, more easy to get into tougher spots, like in between cars. So nobody wants to sit on a bike and sit in traffic, especially when it's hot. Traffic lights, lovely. Then it must be agile, so you can flip it from left to right and right to left. Even on a bike, I don't think there's anything we can do here. Damn. Let's go another way. The turning circle for this is not it's not very good. We're gonna test it out, but I'm having to do lots of little maneuvers. I think it was one of Honda's mottos, I'm not sure exactly what it's called in Japanese, that the bike needs to be extremely easy to flip from left to right, from one direction to another, which they've kind of nailed it with the Hornet at low speeds and at high speeds as well, because it's a very flickable bike. It's very easy to flick it left and right. They've also put a narrower tire on the back. You got a 160 instead of your industry standard 180. Not a lot of bikes come with a 160 anymore. That helps a lot with how nimble it is. I am getting a little bit of a snatchiness from the throttle, and I'm not enjoying that. It's not as bad as the original Tenere 700, but it is there, and it's kind of irritating. We're in second now, engine brake, and we're in sport mode. See, you've got to finesse it quite a lot, otherwise it's gonna jerk you. And thirdly, for me, would be some sort of I don't know, some sort of luggage compartment, little cubby hole, something where you can put stuff. They've done it properly on the CB750. That's got a huge carrying capacity where the fuel tank should be in front. The Hornet has none, so you're going to be carrying a backpack with you all of the time. It does come with an optional touring pack, which comes with side cases and a tank bag and a top case as well, but that's again optional. Even riding around town, the masterpiece of this bike is still its engine. It is such a blast. It is so much fun. It's, I don't know, it feels young. It's, whenever you need power, it's just there. Ooh, another traffic light, yes. I'm not having a lot of fun with the mirrors, both of them, because I don't know, they might as well not be there. Almost half of them are filled up with my arms, so whenever I want to see if there's somebody behind, I have to move my head. I think with riders that don't have broad shoulders, this shouldn't be a problem, but it is for me. Still talking about the engine, the end can that they put on, the standard one, absolutely amazing, because you know what, any bike that you ride must be fun, otherwise what's the point? It's just a machine that gets you from A to B, and you can do that in a car, but will you let us? Yes, you will. The exhaust has actually got two different chambers, one for low pitch, one for high pitch. Together with the 270-degree cam engine is just absolute pleasure that comes out of that exhaust. I love it. I cannot get tired of it. I've had this bike for a week now from Honda, and I keep riding it every day, because every time I go in the garage and look at it, I remember the sheer pleasure it gives me with that exhaust note, and the sheer pleasure the engine gives me whenever I ask it for power, like now. Lane splitting is obviously not a problem. I think this might be why the mirrors are shorter. If they were a little bit longer, I would have no problem with them, but I think they are too short for me. But the bike is narrow enough that you can go into between cars, no problem. If that's your kind of thing. I've been reading in the comments that apparently it's a very naughty thing to do and illegal. It's not illegal in Romania, and if you do it safely, I see no reason why it should be dangerous. The solution for not lane splitting would be, I don't know, pretending you're a car and sitting behind other cars exposed. I was expecting the seating position to, I don't know, to be a lot more cramped, because it is a smaller bike. It is a sporty bike, even though it's not a 4-cylinder anymore. It's still a sporty bike, and I'll go in more detail later. But sitting position is, I don't know, quite up straight, quite adventure-ish, a little bit sporty. I mean, my knees are bent a bit more than I'm used to, but my back is kind of straight, and I don't know, I'm comfortable, I'm good here, and I have ridden it for hours at a time, and I didn't get tired, which is great. The optional quick shifter that comes with it is an absolute must. Hello, fellow rider, because it just makes it so much fun. Alright, let's talk a little bit about the engine now. 755 cc's, brand new from Honda. It's a very interesting engine because they haven't kept their 4-cylinder formula for obvious reasons. This bike has been built to a price range to make it more attractive for a lot of people. 4-cylinder engines are obviously more expensive to manufacture, and they're more expensive to maintain. So they've gone with the parallel twin, but it's not your usual standard one that you find on almost every bike nowadays. We're going to go into a bit of James May territory here now, but basically the stroke of the engine is shorter than the bore of the engine. So it's a very wide cylinder with a very short stroke, which means that you can actually rev it up a lot more than your other parallel twins. And the proof of that is that it redlines at 10,000 RPM. So it's not a 4-cylinder, but it kind of works like one. It sounds like one. I'm getting kind of the same power that I would be expecting from a 4-cylinder, and it's sporty. It's a lot of fun. So it's not a slouch. They flat around with the air box as well. It's got 3 different intakes now, or outtakes, where it feeds the air into the engine. 2 of them are on the sides, and they create little vortices so that the air spins up faster, it goes into the cylinder faster, which means that this engine will give you power even low down. So sporty engines usually don't have a lot of low down grunt. This one does. Touring, you could probably tour on... there's a Goldwing. Hello, Mr. Goldwing. It's a new one. I love that bike. Touring, you could theoretically tour on absolutely anything. It's all a question of comfort. So how comfortable would the Goldwing, see, it's stuck in my head, the Hornet, be for backroads touring, weekend trips? Apart from the fact that it has absolutely no wind protection. This little fly screen that it's on right now, that's actually an optional as well. They do have a bigger one, but if you want to turn it into a touring machine, you'd obviously have to go for the tour pack, which comes with luggage. And I saw on their website there is actually quite a taller windscreen as well. The seating position's fine. You've got plenty of power. There's snow over there. That looks so beautiful. You've got plenty of power. You're not going to get tired on it, so yeah, this could be a proper touring machine as well, not just a city bike. Plus it's going to be a lot of fun on back roads and twisties and everywhere there's a corner. Still sticking to the touring part, I did put a passenger on the back, and it turns out it's not really such a comfortable place for them to be. So if you're going to be doing, I don't know, a few days tour, longer tours, might not want to take a passenger with you. But for solo riding, absolutely no problem. Man, that sound is, you cannot get tired of it. I'll have to stop and put the mic in on there because it's just beautiful. It's the way a bike should sound. The brakes I'm also not very happy with. 300mm discs on the front, it's 2 of them. 4-pot Nissan calipers, but no, I'm not very happy with them. They could be better. The staggering amount of electronics that Honda has put on here, and I'm not talking over-the-top electronics, you don't get cruise control or adaptive cruise control, but for the price range, remember this goes for about 8,500 euros in where we live. How have they done it? I mean, you got a 5-inch TFT screen, it is beautiful even when the sun is shining on it. You've got Bluetooth connectivity, you've got traction control, ABS obviously, then riding modes, throttle by wire, all sorts of little customizable options, such as, get this, I've never seen this on a bike before, the way the quick shifter shifts gear, and you've got there like a high, medium and a low. I don't know exactly what that setting does, but it's there. And for a bike in this price range, that's amazing to see. It's got a slipper clutch as well, as most bikes do, which should help you out if you make a mistake. It'll keep your rear wheel from locking up. Whoa! What the f***? Whew. Alright, that's a lot of adrenaline now. That was either a tiny dog or a cat. I think it was a tiny dog because they're more stupid than cats. Jesus. Just when I was complaining about the brakes, you see? Yes. Let's go on a dam. Okay, this is a very bad road surface. It's old school concrete. Suspension is not doing a terrible job out of saving my butt. It's also not doing a great job, but this is not the type of road the Hornet was designed for. I think the front forks, you got 130 millimeters of travel, not adjustable whatsoever, and I would not expect that at this price range. And the rear, you've got a monoshock with 150 millimeters. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Dogs. 150 millimeters of travel, which is also preload adjustable. Yeah, this is a great place to test out suspension, by the way. Which is fine. Again, for a city bike, for normal kind of roads, absolutely no problem. That quick shifter is great. Don't think about getting it without the quick shifter. It would be a big mistake. I hope you can hear me. We're doing only 100, and I don't think the Hornet is very happy on a highway, or at least I'm not happy on a Hornet on the highway. I'm not getting any buffeting, let's call it that, on my helmet, because all of the air just smacking me all of the time, so there's nothing to buffet. I think from my rib cage up, I'm just completely exposed to the elements. So if you were going to do any sort of highway riding on a usual basis, on a daily basis, like a daily commute, you really need to get one of those higher windshields, and maybe some hand guards. I wish it had a thermometer so I can see exactly how many degrees it is now, but it's cold, and the wind chill that I'm getting from all of the wind is making it not really comfortable. But at least I got plenty of power. Look, let's go to fourth. Yes, you could overtake anything on the highway. It warns you at about 8,000, but you can still take it. Still got plenty of power, all the way up to 10,000. This engine is a work of art. I have no other words to describe it. See, going around this roundabout, this is what I'm saying about the snatchy throttle. You really need to, I don't know, to finesse it quite a lot, otherwise it'll just snatch. I don't know how to describe it, but it's not pleasant. Alright, speaking of that turning circle, that is why we are in this parking lot. Okay, full turn. Let's see how many parking spaces. Almost 2. It's not bad, but I've seen better. Be careful, lots of little pebbles on the road. Don't want to mess up Honda's bike. Well, I'm sure they have another.